Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone and to Puan Siti Fatimah Zahra. Today our group will be present about Islamic law. So before we start, we will introduce our members. The first one is first Ahmad Fahmi bin Syaidan. My third number is F1009, and second is Muhammad Shahizad bin Ibrahim, F1006, and third is Nur Khairul Nisa, F2022. So today we will present about related cases about Food Act 1988. Second, Trade Description Act 2011. Third is breach of halal certification, procedure and the consequence of non-compliance. The fourth one is the issue where the travel agents and tour operator in hospitality industry have been summoned to court. So for the Food Act 1983, we have a company fined 8,000 for mineral water with cancer causing nitrate. So a company was fined 8,000 by the magistrate court here today for importing and distributing mineral water that contain cancer nitrate. So Albert Wines and Spirits M. Sendirian Berhad, Finance Manager Mam Yu Leong, 38, plead guilty to the charge. So for all the legal provision in imposing the penalty for the defendant in the case is, according to Section Food Act 1988, no person shall prepare or sell any adulterated food. So what is adulterated food? Adulterated food is food that contain or is mixed or diluted with any substance which is diminished in any manner is nutritive. So the main cause is Albert Wine and Spirit and Sendirian Berhad was accused of negligence during the processing of mineral water. So the officer analysed and found that the sample of contained nitrate at 0.02 mg, that is higher than permitted rate of 0.05 mg. So we will move to the next, to my friend.
Next, I will present about Trade Description Act 2011. The case is about a man was accused of bringing frozen meat imported in Malaysia using a fake halal logo. KPD and HCP found that the imported meat used halal logo from abroad with dubious halal language and writing. Orang kena saman OKS plead guilty as soon as the charge is presented. The court imposed a fine of 43,000 ringgit or 15 months in prison according to paragraph 8B of the Trade Description, Halal Certification and Marking Order 2011. A total of 1,672 case item worth more than 500,000 ringgit that was seized in the case have been disposed of. The legal provision in imposing the penalty for the defendant in the case is, according to paragraph 8B of the Trade Description, Halal Certification and Marking Order 2011, the court was imposed a fine of 43,000 ringgit or 15 months in prison.
An Islamic agency received a public report of a scandal involving a tainted halal meat and cakes sold in halal certified shop. They urged that JAKIM should be preoccupied with policing halal certified shops that in reassuring the public after news reports emerged about the syndicate. The agency warned that those who do so risk invalidating their halal certificate. Halal issue in multicultural Malaysia is a sensitive matter with the potential to cause racial tensions. The tainted meat involved not just the halal status of meat sold in Malaysia, but also issues of graft and breach of trust. Democratic Action Party MP Stephen Sim said that the scandal impacts non-Muslims as well. Legal provisions in imposing the penalty for the defendant in the case. According to Section 13B, adulterated food, sell the meat have been tainted, involve the halal status of the meat. The procedure is notification. The halal certification body responsible for the certification should be notified of the breach. This can be done by the certifying agency itself, the company that holds the certification, or a third party who has observed the breach. Investigation. The certifying agency will typically investigate the breach to determine the scope of the issue, how it occurred, and what corrective actions are necessary to prevent it from happening again in the future. The consequences of non-compliance. Legal consequences. In countries where halal certification is mandatory, non-compliance can result in heavy fines, legal action, and revocation of licenses. Reputation damage. Companies failing to meet halal standards may suffer reputational damage. Halal certification is a sign of quality, safety, and compliance. Losing it can damage the brand's image.
Last but not least, I will present about travel agent and tour operator. The case is about Jamli Muhammad Zaid was issued a summon order amounting to 7,000 ringgit on 14 charge issued by Magistrate Muhammad Firdaus Saleh for misusing money entrusted to be handed over to perform umrah in the name of Jamli Muhammad Zaid own company, which is JNJ Travel and Tour Seri Berhad. The legal provision in imposing the penalty for the defendant in the case is, according to travel agencies 149A, a person who does not have authority to act for the principal has acted as if he had the authority, such as Jamli Muhammad Zaid being a third party in the to deceive JNJ Travel and Tours Seri Berhad people. When the principal accept the confirmed such as contract, the acceptance is called ratification. The ratification must not injure the third party. It must not subject the third party to damage or terminate his right or interest under S153.
The food service industry is regulated by various laws and regulations that ensure food safety, hygiene, and customer satisfaction. These laws cover various aspects of food service, including preparation, storage, labeling, and disposal of food products. Companies in the food service industry need to comply with these laws to prevent legal and financial consequences, reputational damage, and loss of customer trust. Companies that prioritize compliance with food service laws create a culture of safety, quality, and customer satisfaction that attracts and retains customers while remaining competitive in the marketplace.